Just to play ball. We ain't been on a slide. We just haven't won. So we're playing good teams. It's the SEC. Playing some young guys like this right here, and these guys show up every day and compete and play together. Maybe got some holes that we need to fill, but this ain't the MLB. Can't go sign anybody. So the guys that are out there need to go play a little bit. And these guys have played their hearts out. We've swung the bats as well as they have. They've had some balls go over the fence the last 2 days. We were the team that did it the first day.
I want to change your mindset just for a moment with this next question. You are not only the head coach and a national champion at Tennessee, but also a big Tennessee fan. Do you have a favorite moment, whether that be following the basketball team around or being on the sidelines at Neyland Stadium so far?
There's been a lot. I know the women's softball team is about to make a run right here. I'm glad they won yesterday. Hopefully they're winning or won today. It's hard for one to stick out because, a lot of them are, ones where you feel like your family, whether it's at the arena or the football stadium. So it's an environment you want to be a part of.
Appreciate the time. Thank you.
You bet.
Tony Vitello, head coach at Tennessee. That is strikeout number 8 for Gage Wood, and Gavin Keelan coming to the plate. Game 30 of the SEC season for these programs. What a grind. I mean, you can just feel it even as an observer.
Yeah, we congratulated DVH on game 30. Congratulations. You made it through another one.
I think a 2 to Keelan, who is 1 for 2.
23 seasons. And the last decade, the league has been just on another level.
Battle Cheese, new pitcher for Arkansas, relieving Wood. Part of the plan for Matt Hobbs, the Arkansas pitching coach, to go to Battle Cheese today. Junior from Canfield, Ohio, transferred in from Ohio State, a one-time starter. Didn't miss by much, 2-2.
Yeah, started most of the year for this Arkansas club, but just hasn't been great of late, so they're giving him a new look here out of the bullpen. It's funny how there's different styles of
back-to-back Ks for Battle Cheese.
Different styles of coaching in this league. I asked Tony about maybe what, if anything, was different about today, trying to get over the hump in a rubber match. And I kind of knew the answer, but I gave him a chance to see if maybe that. And I just think their system has been so steady and so highly successful. In Tony's mind, like, what would I say any different than any other day? Like, let's go out and win a ball game. Whereas we have other guys in the league that might, like I could see Nick Mingione. Okay, let's see if we can switch it up today. Let's do something. Let's have a mantra today, or you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And there's a lot of different ways to skin the cat.
Well, that's what makes baseball different, and to view it as a series win or series loss versus just a random collection of 3 games, it can change your outlook if that's how you focus on it.
Well, and he said it right. I mean, it's not a slide of a losing streak, but again, if you view the series as a segment or a unit, then
in reality,
it's 4 in a row.
I don't want to downplay it, but the simplicity of a series in a 3-game series really matters. It's most twice a year. Super regional.
Yes.
And then once you get to the final series in Omaha.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a collection of games.
That's right.
You can even get swept one weekend and come back and sweep the next.
Yeah. Now, there is some of that adds up to your resume. We do hear the committee sometimes talk about series won.
Do you think they should?
Loss.
Do you think that's a fair data point? Here's the 2-2 to Fisher, and it runs inside.
Well, I mean, Arkansas is an interesting case for that because they have 4 sweeps, but they've also lost quite a few series. So which at the end of the day it adds up to 19-10.
That's kind of my point. Like, the cumulative matters more than anything else.
Did I mention that Andrew Fisher's locked in? I mean, the quality of at-bats from this dude, it is totally next level right now. He just continues to define what it looks like to know the strike zone. I mean, he just laid off A nasty 3-2 breaking ball right there. He'll swing and miss early in the count, but it is really rare for him to go fishing late in the count.
We had a long talk with Andrew today about his hips. He was a high school wrestler, and how the power he learned to concentrate from his hip movement helps him as a hitter. The power and agility, I should say.
He coached us up on that, didn't he?
He sure did. In the air off the bat of Ensley.
Commanding position to play. I think that weighs into the conversation. Irish plays right field. Reese plays third base. And by most accounts, probably not at the top half of the league from a defensive standpoint at third base.
Well, his first name, Vahiva, means prized in Hawaiian. And he certainly was a prize recruit and a producer. Here's some of the other contestants.
Yeah, I think, you know, and we talked about Fisher, leads the league in so many categories.
Home runs and OPS. And 18th home run of the season for the Arkansas shortstop.
Well, just when I was about to say it's been a little bit of a cool finish, how about a big fly just to the right of center field? Hunter Ensley thought about it but couldn't quite reach that one, and Vahiva Lloyd now with a double and a homer in this one.
Yeah, he was 2 for 12 against LSU last weekend. Came into today 2 for 10. He has reached base 3 times, once albeit on an error, but hard hit balls, a double in the first and a home run here in the fourth.
I just think so much of the player of the year conversation, Tommy, it goes down to, you know, those that vote. What do they value the most, right? Because I think if you look at the 4 candidates we put up on the screen, you could make a real case for all 4 of them.
Baseball is a little bit different than other sports in this regard, but I still think it's important. It shouldn't be an overriding factor, but a data point. Did your team win? Were you part of a winning program? And a roller smothered by Curley has no play. Over Maxwell, 2 walks and a single.
Yeah, and you know, in Ace Reese's defense, where would they be without you?
Yeah, that's another way to look at it. What is your value to the team?
Yeah, because it is a team that, as he's become arguably the most dominant force in the league, right there with Ike Irish, in conference games, they've made their run to get into the NCAA tournament.
Loy followed Breedlove, and now he'll be done with Cuyo Aloy coming up. And Tony Vitello wanting his reliever to. That'll get you free Tostitos for life, wouldn't it?
It should.
Wasn't that the Fiesta Bowl?
I believe that's right. Beat Miami, right?
Sure. 16th appearance, 2-0 with a 3.81 ERA.
Sinker slider dude has pitched some really meaningful innings, especially early in the year. Tennessee was taking care of business on Sundays early in the year. He and Coons kind of had a tag team deal going. Coons would start it and Krenzel would finish it. And then he battled some illness and missed a couple weeks, working his way back to full strength now. But a non-traditional power righty in today's world. More of the sinker slider version. We see so many guys with 4-seamers now, but he likes to turn that thing over and do some ground balls.
Could use it here. Tennessee got a big double play in the game last night. The Volunteers 29 double plays on the year. That's 10 fewer than their opponents. Aloy walked and scored a run, part of the 5-run third inning for the Razorbacks.
Way back in the third.
Way back there. Well, the good news is I might get to take it to Herman's Rib House tonight.
All right.
Mm, 95.
That's what it looks like when a hitter's guessing right there. You see Cahillo just walks off. No argument to Jeff Head, just head down back to the dugout. He got caught sitting on a breaking ball, and Craig Krenzel just dotted a two-seamer on the outside corner. A really pretty pitch.
If this were golf, how would you describe it?
Handsome. Just a handsome fastball on the outside corner.
Been a day for Ryder Helfrich. Grand slam last time up. And a home run that had serious hang time. And by the way, it's not like that thing was wind aided either.
No, whatever breeze we have is kind of in. Just a, what would you call that? Maybe a 5-mile-an-hour breeze.
Half a club?
Yeah, there you go.
Not like playing golf on a mountaintop. What'd you think of Fayetteville Country Club? Did you like it?
I'm a big fan, Tom.
Did you go back today?
No, I didn't.
You wanted to.
I did. 2 o'clock game got me.
1-1 to Helfrich. Fooled.
Right on right. Changeup right there. Sinker, slider, changeup. Krenzel turning that thing over. Just don't see a ton of those. See, Helfrich swung right through that one as if he thought it was a fastball.
Helfrich hit a home run last year against Auburn after Dave Van Horn had been ejected from a game. DVH was watching on TV. Said it looked like a 500-foot home run. Goes down swinging there. Back-to-back Ks for Krenzel and 2 down.
Speaking of DVH, we will chat with the Arkansas skipper on the other side. He's got to be pretty pleased with the way this game is started here, almost halfway through.
Here's Cam Kojal. Kojal is a big outdoorsman from Nebraska. Ooh. Spends a lot of time wetting his line in Lake Norm, which is the collection pond just beyond center field. And he was talking about the size of the fish in that pond. And he said, you know, we've got all the fertilizer that ends up back there in the nitrogen. You might not think about that from a fish perspective, but it's good for bug life. All right, so the bugs are going to get bigger and thicker, more handsome, more attracted to the fish.
Okay.
Little fish get eaten by the big fish, and next thing you know, got a 6-pound bass out there.
All right.
2-0. But they almost got arrested. He was out there fishing earlier, and his dad has a drone, and they were flying the drone to get a better look at the pond itself and see where the structures were and what the deepest part was. And as soon as the drone got in the air, they were surrounded by cops. Apparently that's a no-no on campus. You can't just fly your own drone.
Okay. You're coaching me up right now. And when you're flying drones in a pond that size to try to find the sweetest honey hole, like you're officially all in.
Yeah, you are.
You know what I mean? Feels like we could just like walk along.
I know it's not like you're scouting Table Rock Lake and trying to find every nook and eddy. No, it's you can hold hands across that.
It's a pond. I caught a fish once, Tom.
Once?
Yep.
Bluegill?
No idea.
No idea. We don't even know what the fish was.
I'm actually not certain the fish was alive, but it ended up on my hook.
You think a dead fish just happened to float into the hook?
I mean, for me to catch it, either that or it was ready to end its days.
Maybe he was a big Chris Burke fan. Hey, you know what? I'll do anything possible to meet Chris Burke. Let me nibble on this hook. Full count to Kojal. He's 0 for 2. And he looks at ball 4. So here's Brent Iredale. A frustrating afternoon in the Tennessee dugout for sure. Iredale spent a couple of years at New Mexico Junior College. He was the first back-to-back MVP in conference history. In 58 games, he drove in 78, homered.
Okay, now I can. That was my third baseman who made that play. I mean, you know, people say coaches fall in love with their players, their own players, but if he was on any team and he's doing what he's doing this year for us, I mean, he plays a primo position, shortstop, and he's really good at it. I mean, fielding percentage, everything he's done for us, the great plays, routine plays, and then, you know, he got like 18 home runs and close to 20 doubles and, I don't know, 60 RBIs. He could steal a bag, as you saw. I mean, there's some really good players in the league, and maybe I'm being biased, but I hope he gets it. I think he's an MVP of the league.
Well, if you earn that in this league, you have certainly earned it. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Okay, see you guys.
Dean Curley with a 1-out single. It was Charlie Condon last year. Dylan Cruz earned it twice. He's shared it with Sonny DeShera in 22. Just watching J.J. Bleday in the big leagues the other day. He won it 19. Andrew Benintendi is the last Razorback to have won it. That was in 2015.
What a year he had. How about that 2015 class? He beat out Dansby Swanson and Alex Bregman.
How about that? And not bad for a guy who just kind of jumped on the radar that year.
That's right. Yeah, first year was very much a struggle, and then stayed here over the summer, got bigger, stronger, and made some adjustments. And next thing you know, he's player of the year and top 10 draft pick.
Finished second in 2001.
Who finished second?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Jeff Keppinger, maybe? I don't know if they do they print the runner-ups? Do they tell you the runner-ups?
Not sure, but since you won it, you might have known who your greatest competition was. Curveball hit up the middle. Here's Aloy. Great range. Off balance. Got him.
Well, that's how you make your skipper look good, Vahiva.
He ran from Springdale to Bentonville.
He said the routine play and the highlight play. I love how he keeps his chest towards the infield there. A lot of guys will go 360, and that'll take you another 2 strides. But he's able to keep his chest square to the infield and enough arm strength, even though his momentum is going completely opposite direction, to finish that play off. Yeah, this is a trendy turn in quarterback evaluation, throw off platform.
Yeah. Thanks for watching our games on
That's
Saturday
right.
night.
And you know, I'm a wannabe quarterback evaluator. The best infielders in the world have to be able to throw off platform, and that's why often the best quarterbacks played a lot of youth baseball.
Patrick Mahomes is the #1 example of that.
That's exactly right. And you really can't play the position without people around your feet. And of course, there are rollout plays and play action and bootlegs and all those kinds of things. And you see a throw like that, and then you can, especially people in this part of the country, can close their eyes and picture Patrick Mahomes making throws just like it.
Well, to me, it's less about the arm and more about the hips and maybe even the shoulders, but it starts from the ground up.
The point is, can you be in an awkward position where your foot is not at your target and your lead shoulder is not pointed that direction and still have the skill to throw it accurately? That's the hard part. And then in baseball and football, here you go again, right? He's moving to his left. Everything about his body's going towards the right field wall, yet he has to throw it away from his momentum and keep the ball straight enough to allow Robinette to finish it off. And those are Those are plays that separate infielders when you can finish those.
A walk to Levi Clark extends the Tennessee 5th. It's a Tennessee team, one of the top home run hitting teams in the country. They're a blast away from making this thing interesting.
And it wouldn't be a shocker if it was this part of the lineup. This part of the lineup, we talked about the bottom third of the Arkansas lineup a lot this weekend, but the bottom third of Tennessee's done a bunch of damage too. Peebles 3 for 9, Levi Clark 3 for 6, bunch of walks. Peebles has had a few run-scoring hits.
And you have to have production from the entire lineup to put up a big inning. And 4 times this weekend, Tennessee has scored 3 runs in a single frame.
Yeah, and Manny Marin down there at the bottom has got 4 hits on the weekend.
0-1 to Peebles. Caught the edge for a strike, nothing at 2. To a board, and Peebles with a check swing. They say it didn't go, and he stays alive.
Did he put on the brakes? Yes, sir. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You keep the barrel behind your hands, and you will almost always get the call from the umpire.
Ripped down the left field line. That is foul by a foot.
And Beidelshees wants to throw that slider. That's his best pitch. And the pitch before where he wrapped it around the strike zone and got it to the back foot of Peebles is
Olander in 22. Meanwhile, Arkansas has won 2 of the last 4. Kevin Kopps in 21, Hagen Smith last year. You talk to other coaching staffs about Liam Doyle, what makes him stand out. The ability to hold velocity late in the game, that's much improved from last year, but it's the overall mindset as a competitor and the way he carries himself on the mound, which is reminiscent of other great emotional aces. I mean, like Brady Singer had an attitude that outsized his body size.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Jr. trying to bunt his way on.
And this, I think, would sound weird to most, but I told him before the game, I actually was very impressed because the reality of pitching in the big leagues, when you pitch every 5th day against the best players in the world, first of all, your body's not going to have it every day. That's impossible. And Andy Pettitte used to say, Pettitte had 5 pitches. He's like, I'm lucky if I had 2 in any one start feeling great. Now, about 5, if you make 35 starts, 5 times a year, I'm going to be locked in. 5 times a year, I'm probably going to stink, and I got to figure out a way to survive and maybe get 2 times through the order. And then really the other 25 is where your season is defined. And a big part of that is your ability to get outs on your days where you're not at your best. And so yesterday his fastball was getting banged. It was clear he wasn't as comfortable as he normally was with his fastball dominance. And I thought the second time and third time through the order, as he mixed in his slider and split finger, showed his ability to pitch and not just dominate by having the most explosive fastball in the league. He's shown that, right? Like it's some of the other layers that sometimes you're not going to see unless the fastball isn't as good on a given start.
Would he be better off, and maybe this is recency bias watching last night, would he be better off if he were to lean less on the fastball early in the game?
Well, I mean, that would be questioning the game plan that they've used at a really high level for most of the year. Now the question could be maybe against this team.
Well, no doubt.
Maybe against Georgia. There are some clubs that maybe you would be more careful with just leaning too heavily on the fastball against. But you can't blame them for going into the game with a game plan that's worked at the highest level all year long.
Tipped it into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. 1 down.
Krenzel's been pretty good now. Fastball up to 95 miles an hour. I mean, again, you see Coons and you see Krenzel, and you see the makings of a couple weekend starters down the road for Tennessee.
Here's Arkansas's Charles Davalon. He's 1 for 3 today.
I'd say one of the stories for this Tennessee roster that maybe isn't talked about as much is how many freshmen have filled significant roles for this team this year. I mean, they've played as many freshmen. Their roster age is the second youngest in the league besides Florida. To be able to, still be in a position to host, to win 40 games, to do what they've been able to do while also giving so many young players opportunities to grow up is, I think, bodes well for their roster next year.
It's tough to balance when you're still chasing the ultimate goal.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and I think that's the thing all these skippers try to figure out, right? How do we play to win the whole thing today, but not also be in the portal to find a whole new team next year?
One on and one out for Davalon. There's a shootout in Oxford right now. Auburn and Ole Miss putting up big numbers. Auburn with a 9-8 lead in the 7th. The Tigers had a 5-run 6th to jump in front.
The ball is flying out of the ballpark this weekend.
Vandy leads Kentucky 5-3 after Kentucky led 3-0, 5 unanswered for the Commodores in the 6th and the 7th. They have not just back-to-back walk-off wins against Kentucky, but 3 straight home walk-off wins on walk-off home runs.
Ike Irish with another home run today for the Tigers.
Shocker.
Now, Tim Corbin's been coaching a very long time. I can't wait to see him in Hoover and ask him about 3 straight walk-off homers. And all of those games looked bad. Like, you're losing. It's one thing it's tied in extra innings, you hit a home run. Like, they're down to their last strike in all those games. The Bama game you and I called, they were down 7-2 in the 8th with 2 outs and nobody on.
They get 2 home runs in the 8th, and you think, okay, well, this makes it interesting.
And then they were down to their last strike in the 9th and walked them off. And Holcomb has hit 2 of the 3.
That's right. And it was Jonathan Vastine last night. Here's the 3-2 to Davalon, runner on the move, and it's upstairs for ball 4.
Which I don't know if you saw. Vastine hit 2 homers in that game. And I don't know if you actually saw the live clips, but those were both backside home runs that, Vastine's not the biggest dude in the league, but those were some of the home runs that we've seen the last couple seasons that it feels like haven't been as popular this year, where the ball's carrying out to the backside of the field. But this weekend, it's
you say popular, I think you meant prevalent.
Yeah, popular, prevalent. A lot of them.
Yeah, a lot of them. There you go. Well, the point is the ball's just not flying this year for whatever reason like it did last year.
No, and we still
got. So the opposite field home runs that you're talking about, that's where you've seen the biggest drop-off?
Definitely. There haven't been as many balls that have left the bat that you thought, that's not a homer, that ended up being one. And the numbers show it. It's about 7% down this year. But there's, I think the game's in a great place. I mean, both these teams still have more than 100. Arkansas set their program record. So it's not like the ball's not getting out of the park.
Behiva Aloy went opposite field, 392 feet his last time up. Caught just a piece of that one.
Yeah, we're going to end up with, I don't know, 10, 12 dudes just from the SEC alone hit 20 homers. And Behiva Aloy is probably going to be one of them. That's his 18th homer on the year. That'll give you a smile. Starting to find his form again.
Here's Krenzel's 0-2 to Aloy. To the ground on the right side. Shuffle and a kick. Here's Keelan. And a hair late. They get the force out on Davalon.
Nice job there by Dean Curley. Way to bounce back after a tough play earlier in the ball game. Keep your nose down. Love the backhand feed right here. And Keelan maybe just, I don't know, was it maybe just a click? I don't know, that's about as good as you can do it by the shortstop. You got to give Aloy a bunch of credit for legging that one out. Love the hustle from the Arkansas shortstop.
Runners at first and third for Logan Maxwell. 2 walks and a single for the TCU transfer. Helishus has scored 4 unanswered on the road against South Carolina. The #1 Tigers have a 5-2 lead in the 7th. Freshman Derek Curiel 2 for 4. One and one.
It really is impressive how many fans have a great view of the strike zone from behind home plate. It's always been impressive to me.
You would think they're all sitting right behind home.
That's right. You'd think they could actually see the plate, but they can't.
Opposite field shot for Maxwell. A drive in 1. And it's bobbled in left field by Bargo. The throw comes in late over third. That results in an extra 90 feet for Wahiba Aloy. Maxwell is 2 for 2 with an RBI now.
What a series Logan Maxwell is having. Has not been retired in the ball game, and this is a rocket over the head of Manny Marin. Been up to bat 4 times, has reached base all 4 times, and is now 7 for 11 in the series.
Kuya Aloy is 0 for 2, and that one dismissed. I think we lose one more button, or you think one's enough?
I'm not going to tell this dude what to do at all. That is a bad man right there now. You do you, kid.
He's 7, is his 7th error of the season on Bargo. That allowed Aloy to get to third. Big brother. Two for 10 this weekend. Texas is trying to take the series from Oklahoma. It's a 4-1 lead for the Longhorns. They scored 3 in the 7th. Oklahoma got a solid start from Malachi Witherspoon, but the Sooners have only 2 hits today. Luke Harrison on the mound for Texas.
That's the biggest area where Cahillo needs to improve from sophomore to junior year. Like there are swings like that where I understand cheating to the fastball, but you know, when you watch the difference between, say, an Andrew Fisher and a Cahillo Aloy, you see the difference in just letting that ball travel an extra couple feet before you make your decision. Sometimes it looks like Cahillo is in a rush to get the barrel out in front, when the beauty of being this strong with this much bat speed is you can hit the ball out to the backside of the field just as easily as most guys can pull one out. You don't have to be in a hurry.
It's natural evolution for a young hitter.
I think so. There's nothing wrong with taking chances and swinging and missing, especially when you can do damage. But like that one right there, you just wonder like how much he actually saw that ball out of the hand.
And now the 1-2. And he goes down swinging. Well, Krenzel gets bitten by the leadoff walk, comes around to score, but Tennessee strands a couple here. Arkansas strands a couple in the 5th.
I am Polestar 3. I am pure electric performance. From the straightaways to the hairpin turns, I am designed to be driven. The drive of tomorrow. I am Polestar 3. Make the switch to Polestar. Offer ends June 2nd.
Every dream for your future starts with a plan. But at Corebridge Financial, we know it takes more. It takes action, like connecting with a financial professional to help guide you. Choosing retirement solutions so you can live the life you've worked for. And life insurance to protect the ones you love. Great things happen when you put your plans into action. Corebridge Financial. Action is everything.
Tusk is having a good day, and why not? Grapes, apples, really whatever you put in front of the snout. Kind of like Chris Burke.
Fair.
Now, you'd take care of that, wouldn't you?
That looks pretty tasty. Oh, yeah, I'm in. I am in. What we got there? Now that's my speed right there. Crawfish broil, I'm in.
Manny Marin ahead in the count, 1-0. He is 1 for 2 in this one and pulls that one foul. I got another idea for you tonight.
Okay, go for it.
We got the night off, right? We're not going anywhere. How about Nate Bargatze's performing in town? Are you not a fan of Nate Bargatze?
I love when you put me on the spot like this. I'm not familiar with Nate.
Uh-huh.
So
first of all, he's an SEC guy. He's a Vanderbilt fan.
Okay.
Number one.
Okay.
I mean, that's not number one, but number one for your wheelhouse.
Okay,
right?
thank you.
Very family friendly.
Okay.
He's the most popular comedian in the country right now.
Okay. I mean, I know the name.
There's a show called Saturday Night Live. He's hosted that a couple of times.
He's not the dude that does George Washington.
He is.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We got you. We got you in the loop now.
Okay. Yeah. Seen a few of those clips.
Here's pitch to Manny Marin, and it's ball 4. If you're funny enough to sell out entire arenas on multiple nights,
yeah,
you're doing all right.
Pretty good. You know, we should have, speaking of selling out multiple or big arenas on multiple nights, we should have
AirPods before the game?
Yes. I mean, maybe not exclusively, but yeah, that would be probably in the mix.
Yes. Big music guy, Tony Vitello.
Yeah, he's got a few friends in that arena. Mm-hmm.
Isn't it interesting how those arenas dovetail, right? Athletics.
Yeah. Well,
entertainment.
Especially when you're in Tennessee.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like his vibe was maybe to want to talk about Morgan Wallen at that point in time, but I'm sure he's already got his list of favorites from the new drop.
Now, Morgan Wallen did the walkout at Neyland Stadium with Peyton Manning in full uniform and Josh Heupel.
Yep.
I don't remember seeing Tony in the show.
Oh no, there was the next day.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, he went. It was Christian Moore and Tony.
All right. I feel like the Peyton clip gets a little bit more run than that one. That hasn't come across my eyes.
That one's out there. I think a few of the baseballs were part of that. Blake Burke, maybe Dreiling.
Keelan sends it to center field. Justin Thomas Jr. has it for 1 out.
I think they walked out with the trophy.
It's tough to get much cooler than that.
Yeah, there was kind of like a football walkout one day and then a baseball walkout one day, if I remember correctly.
During that 2-day concert series, Morgan Wallen broke the record for the largest weekend attendance at Neyland Stadium, 156,000 tickets sold. And this one's line foul. That broke the record that had been set in 1984. Guess who set the record in 1984?
Prince?
Jackson 5.
Oh, the Jackson 5. That would make sense. I was going to go Beatles, but that's a little past their heyday, right?
What position did Morgan Wallen play for Gibbs High School? He was a baseball player.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, I think he pitched. But, you know, he's a high school dude. He probably played a position, too. And now.
Oh, this ball is launched to right field. Thomas will give it a look just for fun, and that is off the pillar. And Andrew Fisher continues to add to his league-leading total. 22nd home run of the season for the Slugger.
Has he had a decent day?
His dad is a high school wrestling coach, and he said it took me a little while to get my baseball stuff going because I had to gain so much weight to wrestle, then I had to lose that weight. My feet felt heavy at times, even though I felt power in it. And it's an amazing breakdown because that's not, in my mind, that's not a normal sport crossover, wrestling and baseball, but the hips don't lie.
Wow. Yeah, there's some explosive hips going through the zone there, and that is a dead no-doubter. A ball that hits off the brick of the scoreboard there to just to the right of the pitch clock, and that'll be it for Beitelshees. But Tennessee trying to hang around here in this one.
And so Arkansas going to the bullpen for just the second time in this. We'll tell you about the reliever after this.
I am Polestar 3. I am pure electric performance. From the straightaways to the hairpin turns, I am designed to be driven. The drive of tomorrow. I am Polestar 3. Make the switch to Polestar. Offer ends June 2nd.
Consumer Reports ranks car brands on more than 50 road tests, reliability surveys, owner satisfaction surveys, and safety ratings from IIHS. And for 2025, Consumer Reports' most reliable automotive brand is Subaru. It's no surprise they also named Subaru the best overall automotive brand. Safe, reliable, trusted, loved. Subaru.
The truth about DIY is you never really do it all by yourself.
Because this setup took 2 videos and a quick demo.
You can change your color here.
And all of this started here, detoured here, and ended
down here.
And this pizza wasn't delivery. This was.
I wonder if they do have it.
We do.
So whenever you start a project,
don't worry.
You're not alone.
We can do this together.
So what are you working on?
Well, the technical director in TV parlance is the person who pushes all the buttons. I'm simplifying, and Ribby wanted to get in on the fun, so if there's a fat finger miss punch, we know who to blame.
Ribby, huh?
Yeah.
Ribby. All right. Ribby's
that's a longer snout than I thought.
Okay. That maybe new?
I mean, that can't be easy to walk around. You get bump into some folks with it.
I think he's had a few photo ops in his day.
Here's Will McIntyre.
One of the most experienced pitchers on this pitching staff, has filled a number of different roles for Arkansas over the last 3 or 4 years, and oftentimes it's been of the long relief variety.
Ground ball to third. And 2 down. We'll be in Hoover this week, and the party begins 10:30 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday on the SEC Network. Single elimination all the way through.
Should be interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, I think
I'm
it'll
excited
be very
about the new format.
Here's Dalton Bargo. And a wave and a miss.
And then where if you're one of those double bye teams, you just throw your weekend rotation.
Yeah.
You always were going to have to get in another starter, sometimes 2 more, depending if you won your first game or not. This year we'll have less of that. Now, it all depends on how these teams choose to handle their pitching. Will McIntyre's dad grabbed me on the way in, said hello to me. That was nice.
Oh, nice.
Good to see his son getting a chance to pitch out here in this ball game. We had the only hitter in the league with no armor.
You might be right.
It took me all weekend to realize this, but as I'm looking at his foot, it hit me. He's got no shin guard. There's no elbow guard. There's definitely, if you're not shin guard or elbow guard, you definitely don't have an oven mitt, right? This dude's straight throwback.
I'm kind of surprised he's even wearing batting gloves.
Yes.
Nothing in 2.
I called games at a park ACC team this year that said they make their dudes wear it off the machine in the cage. They just pure.
Wait, like Happy Gilmore style?
Just pure injury prevention. It's like
wait.
Yes.
We're going to go in the cage. You're going to take a shin burger on purpose, or you just wear the equipment?
No. Like you have to wear your shin guard while you hit off the machine.
Just like an offensive lineman has to wear a knee brace.
Right. Again, we're not.
I thought you were saying that they have to.
No, wear it off.
Wear it in baseball parlance.
No. They have to actually wear the shin guard while they're in the cage.
Well, then, why wouldn't you make them wear it in game?
No, I think they all do. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying that's how different. Like that's how different the era was, right? Like in today's world, it's no longer seen as like, oh, I guess. Like it's like some teams will make you wear it because it's just we've gotten to a point now where, and I get it. Like once you see somebody, foul ball off their foot and break their foot, or
just watch a Jermaine Dye clip. Oh.
Then as a coaching staff, you just say, hey, let's just make them all wear it. But anyway, Ryder Helfrich, very unique in the fact he has no armor. As Braden Krenzel.
That would be newsworthy.
Puts away the first Arkansas hitter here, the 6th.
It's his 5th K.
And we got another hitter with no armor. How have I missed this all weekend, Tom?
Been thinking about those 9 birdies. Got a Krenzel-Kojal matchup here. Cam Kojal's dad is a groundskeeper in Omaha, both for the AAA team and for the Men's College World Series. Look at little Cam helping out by holding the hose. How cool is that?
Love it. We've seen Kojal attempt to bunt a few times this weekend. I was watching him practice it today during batting practice. He hasn't got one down yet, but he is. I'll give him an A for consistently attempting to do it.
Here you go. Krenzel gathers. Got a fire. 2 down.
Boy, that wasn't the pitch, right? If you're going to bunt for a hit, you're going to try to drag it down the third baseline. You got to get something away from you. And if it jams you, watch, this ball's at him. See, that ball's at him, so he doesn't quite get the angle that he needs, that you would get if something was away, where you could really get that ball up the third baseline. Nice job there by Krenzel of finishing that play.
Krenzel comes inside with 94, 0-1. We're getting rid of our tan lines today, apparently.
Okay. Is he trying to tan his palms?
Yeah. You got to even it out.
My man on the right might need some sunscreen.
Well, where?
Huh?
He doesn't need it in the middle, but he could certainly use it on the neck.
Oh, you could use that to. Yeah, he's
Bush Light does not make for a good aloe. We're here to serve.
It's a great tip, Tommy. My second question is, how do you know?
Power of deduction.
Okay. There's some serious sunburning going on out there.
Dermatologists are cringing. 2-2.
Not sun tanning, sun burning.
My man's got no issues.
No, he's good.
Brent Iredale is 0 for 2. And a full count now as Krenzel misses with 96.
Brent Iredale just quality at bat after quality at bat. In today's world, the walk is as big an offensive weapon as any on the best offenses in the country. And man, has he done a nice job of earning some free passes this weekend.
That was really good. No sleeves needed this weekend. Arkansas with a 4-run lead in the 6th with 2 outs. Tony Vitello is going to make another pitching change, and they'll be calling the Hogs here at Baum Walker. You have to be in sync to call the Hogs. It's probably the only college here where you really have the pauses and the execution throughout the different stanzas. I mean, VOLS just kind of goes.
Yeah.
Shipping Springs is not far from Bryan College Station. Gateway to the Hill Country. Home of Kyle Chandler. Friday Night Lights. Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose.
Okay.
I feel like that should be a binge watch for you. Like, if you didn't watch it when it came out, your love of middle school, high school, and college football, Friday Night Lights is right up your alley.
All right.
I'm guessing by the way you're reacting to this that no, you are not familiar and have not watched it.
No, I haven't.
Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Is that
I definitely have heard the
phrase?
term. Yes, for sure.
Just outside of Austin. There's the 0-2 pitch. Runner on the move and perfect to throw on and got him. Well, Peebles out of his crouch and he delivers a strike to second. Would have jumped out of the couch too.
Yeah, either one works. Looks like we're going to get a review here. A perfect throw by Peebles on a textbook pitch to throw on, a fastball up. Peebles did all the early work. I think this is another one of the situations where the throw beat him. Yeah, live, I thought he was out. Let's see if the tag, we saw Aloy was able to get to the backside of the base. Iredale maybe not quite as much. I mean, definitely his hand gets to the backside of the base. Aloy did a great job of almost swerving his entire body, and I feel like this one's going to stand, Tommy. Watch Peebles get up out of that crouch. Perfect pitch to throw on. Throws an absolute dot to the front of the base. It's not there yet. Yeah, there it was. Yeah, that one's going to stand.
Here's Kojal. Meet up with him on his way out the door to run. I'd say, Timmy, how far are you running today? He said, I haven't decided yet, so I'm just going to run that direction until I get tired, and then I'll turn around and run back. He was a college wrestler, so that should kind of put it in perspective. Later, a presidential Secret Service agent for Bush and Obama.
Sounds like a good friend to have.
No doubt.
And back in the day, like way back when you were in college.
Yeah, way back then.
There was no real way to track it, right? He just wasn't like he was running with a watch that told him how far he was running.
Didn't even drop breadcrumbs or anything. Reese Chapman with a swing and a miss. How's that guy feeling?
Well, he's a little sunburnt too, Tommy, even though there's not a whole lot of – he might have spent a day at a lake or something yesterday. But
interesting to go with the hoodie under the jersey when it's 85 out.
Yeah. Rocking all his swag in one uni. But he's not feeling well, I like the shorts. We got checkerboard shorts there. Or those pants. Looks like pants.
Those long pants, yeah.
He's got serious outfit going there.
1 and 2. Is that what you wear? You go to a Tennessee football game? You go straight checkerboard long pants?
No, Tommy. But I appreciate those that do.
Yeah, we got a lot of checkerboards in the building. Here's the 1-2. Aimed at by Chapman. Well, McIntyre's retired all 4 batters he's faced in relief.
Doing a really nice job. We see a bigger breaking ball and then a tighter breaking ball, and then the cutter to Curley. So that the cutter is the short one. This is the one that's got the depth to it. You see this one just outraced the barrel of Reese Chapman down to the bottom part of the zone, and McIntyre making light work of this Tennessee lineup so far.
Eli Clark looks at a first pitch strike. Now 0-2.
And we don't get a ton of the data points, even though they do play a healthy non-conference, prior to New Year's. Or are these really the best teams in the country? And I think the NCAA basketball tournament showed us those were the best teams in the country.
Yeah, the other part of it, and once again, it's not apples to apples, sport to sport, but the success that the SEC had head-to-head in the ACC Challenge laid the groundwork for this is an elite league, and by the way, that other one is going to struggle this year. Baseball's always different, right? Because obviously non-conference schedules are not made equally, but also even when you face great teams early in the season, like you go to Arlington, for example, that's early in the year. Your pitchers haven't been built up. There's not that they shouldn't be valued, but to me, baseball is much more of a long runway sport than any other.
Yeah, there's so many games, so many different data points.
Thomas got underneath this one. Coming in is Bargo. Keelan back, and Keelan takes it himself.
And I think the other piece with baseball too is, you might have played some really good non-conference games, but who was pitching in those games? Were they weekend games? Were they midweek games? There's a lot of nuance to in a basketball game. It's your best versus my best every time we play.
That's right.
Nobody wonders who was on the mound or what version of a team you got that day. Arkansas is going to put the brakes on here a little bit after a couple quick outs. So, I think that's a little bit of the difference.
By the way, I heard a great story this week about Bobby Wernis.
Okay.
He's on the coaching staff, third base coach. He was kind of late, last-minute addition his sophomore year to the Arkansas roster. Do you know how Dave Van Horn found him? He played on a College World Series team.
Please tell me.
He had gone with his girlfriend, now wife, girlfriend at the time, to go pick up her sister from Kanakuk, which is a camp not far from here, up in Missouri in the Ozarks. He was wearing an Arkansas baseball t-shirt. He had played 1 year at Neosho College in southern Missouri. A guy walks by and says, "Hey, nice t-shirt." It happens to be Dave Van Horn, who was there to pick up his daughter, who was a camp counselor at the time. The girlfriend, now wife, says to him, "Hey, Bobby, you want to play at Arkansas? Go ask him if he's got a spot." And he's like, "Honey, it doesn't work like that. I can't just go up to Dave Van Horn in the parking lot at Kanakuk." She encourages him. He does. And Van Horn says, "You know what? We just lost an infielder this week. When are you playing next?" And he was playing the next night on the same field that Dave Van Horn grew up playing on in Metro Kansas City. Van Horn, watch him take ground balls in the batting cage.
We got a helmet malfunction?
Possibly. Or maybe a delay tactic, because Helfrich said something to Peebles as he was walking off, and Jeff Head had to run interference.
It looks like he said he's got some, I don't know, he's pointing to his eye, and he said something about his helmet. Definitely has a new helmet, though.
Yeah. Went away with the electronic devices for batters this year. And McIntyre gets him looking. You mentioned Will McIntyre. What a great story. His first year was 2020. An abbreviated season, obviously. They're going to wave Canna Peebles back. He was a part-time starter in 22 and 23, and he's pitched primarily out of the bullpen over the last 2 seasons.
Yep.
There's a career low batting average against for McIntyre this season.
Well, I think a big part of it, it seems like that breaking ball has really gotten sharper. It used to be so cutter heavy, but now the actual slider has really developed.
He has pounded the strike zone today. His K rate is as high as it's ever been in his career in Fayetteville, 0-2. Ahead in the count to Blake Grimmer, pinch hitting.
That's the one you got to lay off of, that breaking ball that wraps around the zone. Really good trajectory on that breaking ball. Really comes out of his hand looking like a fastball and then just dies at the plate.
Fastball low, 2-2. Snuck 92 by him. Back-to-back Ks for McIntyre.
Boy, is he fired up. Paint down and on the outside edge. Grimmer doesn't want to go chasing for the breaking ball, and that's a fastball just absolutely beautifully executed at the bottom of the zone.
Hogs will have a powwow on the mound with McIntyre. He can sneak a smile.
Let me ask you a question here, Tommy.
Yep.
Okay. So, from a hosting standpoint, Texas, Arkansas, LSU, Vanderbilt, Georgia, and Auburn are all going to host. Okay. Auburn's RPI is so high that even if they lost today at 16 and 14, they would still host. Okay, that's 6 hosts, right? Now, I'd say from an RBI perspective, the SEC is going to get at least 7, if not 8.
Yeah, Alabama would be in the discussion.
Okay, Alabama's losing right now.
Okay.
Okay, now if Alabama loses that series and finishes at 16 and 14.
You got Ole Miss taking that spot?
Okay, and Ole Miss is losing. They finish 16 and 14. Okay, if Tennessee loses this game, they finish 16 and 14.
Not all 16 and 14s are created equal.
They're not, but Tennessee does have the head-to-head with both of them, which is interesting. And RPIs that are almost, you know, you can throw a hat around. Ole Miss would be the 3rd on that, and Bama and Tennessee right now are 11 and 8.
Well, sounds to me, you didn't ask a question. You presented some factors.
Yeah, like,
sounds to me like
who would win it? Who would win that one?
No, but
wow.
All I know is that number, and they announced it, and they stood up in their seats, and they became the most popular people in the ballpark.
Time to head to the concession stand.
But they could buy limeades for everybody. I've never seen a number like that at a baseball game. Swing and a miss for Aloy. Coming up later on the SEC Network, 6 Eastern, 5 Central. Hello there. Final 4 hours of the SEC Outdoor Track and Field Championships from Lexington. All the top runners square up in the finals for individual and team titles. Razorbacks 4-time defending men's champs. LSU the women's champs. Ignited Track and Field coming up from the Bluegrass. Logan Maxwell sends it to center. Park will hold it. And Ensley takes care of it. 2 down.
Now batting for the Razorbacks number 25.
Here's Kuyo Aloy, who is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Nothing in 2.
Man, Arvidsson has really looked sharp since entering this ball game. And in command of all 3 pitches, fastball, slider, and changeup. Tom, I had somebody tweet at me that Kahil Aloy looks just like Andrew Jones up to bat. And that is a very good call. Number 25.
Upright stance.
Really upright. Probably about the same height. And probably similar bat speed. The way Kahil lets it rip.
He's DHing this year. Where's his natural position?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would think a corner spot, infield or outfield.
What other tweets have you gotten this weekend?
I've got some really friendly ones. Yeah.
I think you should share those. For time, I don't know that I would have been an SEC caliber player. Now here he is on the doorstep of maybe being player of the year.
And a first-round draft pick. But admittedly, he's, he said his sophomore year was 5'10", 140 pounds. So the body has made a significant jump. Now he's about 6'1", 210? I mean, that's maybe 200. Like that's a body that has changed significantly. He's also the player in the league that I think uses his timeouts the most. A pitcher gets 1 step off. Hitter gets 1 timeout, McIntyre's ticked. I feel like he uses it 2 or 3 times a game.
I don't know, based on how he's throwing, I'd want to upset Will McIntyre.
This could be saucy here. Fisher's got some Votto-like qualities with the way he can waste 2 strike pitches.
Just missed the fastball. You go curveball here.
I mean, fastball way and sliders down and in. It's going to be one or the other. Looks like the slider here. Oh, fastball up.
I feel like a good chunk of those sliders from McIntyre are more down than down and in.
Yeah, he just rips it. Sometimes it goes straight down. Sometimes it wraps a little bit.
And this ball is lifted into right field. Maxwell comes around it and puts it away.
Number 9, Hunter.
Diggs in right field, pardon me.
Well, they got rid of him. Just a routine F9 there, Tom.
Yeah. And a breaking ball in for a strike to Hunter Ensley. to short. Aloy. Arkansas is an out away from going to 32-4 playing in front of that guy, because I assume he's been at every home game.
Yes.
They're locked into a double bye, and this would lock him into the 2 seed. Dalton Bargo is 0 for 4 today. What an outing for Will McIntyre. The senior has been untouchable.
It has been a stripe show from a strike throwing standpoint.
And with a win here, Arkansas won't play in Hoover until Friday afternoon as the 2 seed. That would be game